Good evening or late afternoon, and welcome to another episode of My Fiber Fun. Yep, I decided to come back today just because I'm bored. I'm sitting here crocheting, so I thought I'd come on for just a little chat. So, how is everyone doing on today? As you can see, I did a detour before starting on. I'll be starting on this as soon as I finish this project. If you remember, I said I was going to use this to make my cousin a blanket, but I decided that I will get some other yarn for that. And there's really no big rush on her blanket, to tell you the truth, because I've made her one in the past, and then she has quite a few bags because she seems to win one with every drawing, and she won a shawl last year. And so, but I like to make her things because, she gave me this big expensive table that I have here, that I inherited from my cousin. She was the one who orchestrated that. So I'm definitely going to be making her another blanket. Her last one was an actual Afghan or a bigger blanket. This one will be more of a lap blanket for her. But anyway, I decided I'm keeping this Noro one. Now, let me tell you what I did. And that's one reason why I came on too. I did something totally out of the ordinary. And I was like, I hope I'm not messing up here, because y'all know the Noro yarn is very expensive. Although I got it on sale and it was fairly cheap compared to what it normally costs. You're looking at about $50 for a ball of the Noro. And so I was like, although I got it on clearance, actually, although I got it on clearance and it was fairly cheap and everything, still, you don't want to mess it up, because Noro has a technique, that the wabi-sabi technique, that enhances the yarn. So with me, I decided, because with every, I've completed 2 blankets with this exact yarn. I frogged it on 2 occasions. And the last one that I made was just a plain granny square that I actually liked. The first one that I made was a square, and it was with the corner to corner with the half double crochet. That one presented the heathered look. Then when I looked at the Noro book that I had gotten from the liquidation store, they had a blanket made with the Noro yarn that was in the granny square, and I loved it so much because the colors really, really, really popped. I was like, this is what I've got to have. So I frogged that, and then I decided to make the granny square blanket like that. And I liked it, but as you all have heard me say numerous times, I prefer a thicker look, especially for blankets. Most shawls, I like chunky, but I don't like too chunky. 5 weight seems to be perfect. So you know that I used the 5 weight remix, what's it called? Barocco remix, to make this blanket. And I love this blanket. And so, no, this will not be frogged. Although I thought about frogging it and turning it into using a different stitch with it, but nope, I'm gonna keep it the way it is because it's nice and warm and cozy and all that good stuff. But this one, I said, I just don't like how thin it is, and it did not keep me warm. And you know that this Noro yarn is 40% silk, 40% cotton, and 20% polyamide. And so, and one thing I can say about this Noro yarn is, many times as I have frogged this thing, although it has a few of the little cotton ball, you know how it gets the little balls in it, because it's been rubbed or it's gotten aged. So it's not as polished as it was when they were brand new balls of it, but I like the character of the little balls. It doesn't look bad for it to have been frogged as many times as it has, because I've started it in different stitches and frogged it. I did a lot of playing around with it. But what I ended up doing to the yarn was, because I like it thicker, I said, well, I bought a lot of this stuff. So I said, I'm going to just go on and double it and see what happens. And so that's what I did. I doubled the yarn, and I was hoping that I wasn't making the mistake of all mistakes, because I knew that because of his technique of how he runs the colors and everything, I could be messing it up. But I had heard on a video where they said to play with the yarn. They said because no matter what you do, it will usually still work out. So they were saying play with it, play with the colors, do this, do that, you know, because of the art of the yarn itself. Well, I put it together. Now, some of the colors ran color to color, like, which is what I like. So that gives the pop. Like, for instance, this, and I'm gonna show it to you in a minute and show you what I'm talking about. You have like a deep dark purple, you have a light blue, a dark blue, light pink, because the colors kind of blend in, you know, from light to dark, you know, and then it goes to the next color. You have the turquoise that blends in. You have the pink that blends in, light and dark pink. So you're dealing with like 4 different colors in the Haruito, and this is color number 12, I believe. You know, they don't do colors, they do numbers. So this is number 12 for this particular yarn. So I said, now, since the yarn is going to be mixed, where it might be, let's say the pink, it might go up against the purple, you know, with the double strand. So it might be a combination of 2 different colors in one strand. And I'm hoping that I don't mess it up and that it looks bad. Actually, to me, it doesn't, and I'm going to show it to you. It actually just still flows the way that Noro yarn flows. It's just thicker. So I'm using a size, I think, 11 hook, which is an L. I believe this is a size L. And y'all know the Magoos. My thing broke. My glasses holder necklace, and I paid $20 for that. And the guy was like, oh, no, this will last. This made better than your typical chains. It broke, okay? So here's the, wait, what did I do with it? Well, if I can't find it, but I know I stuck it in my little box there, my little junk box. But anyway, yeah, it broke. So the Magoos are alone again. And so I'll buy a cheap chain once again, because the expensive ones don't last either. So they're going to have to come up with something. Plus, I haven't forgotten. I just haven't done it yet. I will be going to get my new glasses, and yep, I'm rambling and I'm all over the place, but y'all know me, just follow along. Anyway, okay, back to the blanket. Okay, so this is how it looks. I am on row 20. First, I'm gonna show you the yarn. This was the size of ball number 1. This is ball number 2 from that yarn, because y'all know I had 8 balls of it total, and 6 of them were used to, I doubled up 6 of them. And so I got this size ball, and then the ball I'm working on now was this same size. And I said, I hope I didn't mess up to the point where it's not going to be big enough for a blanket. But then I thought, well, I know it'll be big enough for a lap blanket. So whatever I come up with is what I'll have. Well, this, I still haven't finished out the first ball. I rewound it because it was, you know, it started getting loose. And so this is what's left. I'm on row 20. And then I had this third ball that I made for the border. So if you look at it, now you see that the colors are mixed together. So, you know, it's not all the same colorway. They're just mixed. But it really doesn't, to me, it doesn't look bad. Perhaps I should have left it. I wish they would come out with the Noro chunky, and they may have. Let me put the stitch marker in so I don't mess up here. Hold on. Because I'm getting ready to hold up the blanket so that you can see how it's looking. Okay, here we go. Okay, so, oops. Okay, so here's the blanket. I'm currently on row 20, and I decided after going through a million stitches with this, because all the other ones were tight, like your half double crochet, I tried the Suzette stitch. I tried putting 2 half double crochets in the same stitch and then skipping one. You know, that was the grit stitch, I believe. Then I tried the V-stitch. I thought the V-stitch would be nice, but it was too flimsy and too holey. And then I just went back to the granny stitch, but instead of chaining one in between each stitch, I'm just going to the next stitch. And it seems to be working out because although it still has the holes, they're not bad. And it still gave a nice drape, and it's nice and thick the way that I like it. So this is what it looks like thus far. I'm on row 20. I just started row 20. Yep, because there's my end right there where the new row starts. I just started row 20, and this is the size of it right now, and it fits over my lap nicely. So I think with the rest of that yarn, because this right here is going to be the border. I'm going to be able to get around it with the border. I want the border to be as wide as possible. And I'm thinking after I finish out the other one, I should probably end up with 35 to 40 rows, if not more, because I'm on row 20 now. And I still have at least, I can still get to 25 with what's left here because this ball is still fairly tight. And I know the bigger that it gets, the more yarn that it uses. I'm thinking I'll probably end up with 40 to 45 rows total, which is fine. And let's see, do I have my measuring tape here? I can't find it right. Oh, it's in here. Hold on. I've got my little Joann's yarn holder thing. Okay, let's measure it. At row 20, we are measuring out at, and you know, with it being a square, it measures out the same. Okay, where's my magoos? Because I cannot see. Right now we are at 29 inches. So right now it's 29 inches across. So it should measure out the same all the way around. So right now it's 29 by 29. We may as well say it that way. So it's going to get bigger. So let's see. If we get 29 more, we may as well say 30. It'll probably measure out to 60 or somewhere close to it. It'll probably measure, we're going to give it 50. Okay, let's see where we're at 50. It may not even get that far, but that it's going to be a pretty big size. If it gets to 40, it's going to be pretty big. So I'm not really concerned with it not being big enough. So I think it'll still be big enough for a blanket as well as a nice lap blanket for me. And I like how it's, see how it's still drapey? It's still very soft. It's still soft. It's cottony. It's silky, you know, because that's what makes it really, really nice. And I think it looks good. Now, if you look at it, it actually has the heathered look now because I mixed the colors. But if you look at and I have quite a few spots, especially in that second skein, where the colors ran together, like right here, that dark pink, and it's still, and so it looks heathered, but when it gets to the part where two of the colors just happen to match up, it still has that pop. So I'm very, very satisfied with it. You have that a lot with the purples too. And I haven't encountered it with the blue yet. Even at the beginning, you see where two colors are together. I haven't encountered it with the blue yet. I'm hoping that I can with the blue. And I believe that I will when I get to the second ball. But I really like how it looks. It actually has more of a hippie look to it. Y'all know I like hippie. And like I said, it's nice, it's soft. It's just as soft as it was from the beginning. In fact, the more I frog this and the more I work with it, the softer it gets. So I'm really enjoying this. And I just started this on yesterday because I was up all night. That's a long story that I won't even get into. So like I said, I have this left, and then this will be for my border, and it's going to be just a plain straight border with it. So that's going to give it more width and size once I do finish it. And I didn't use all the yarn. I saved because, you know, I had, although I bought 8, or was it 7? I believe I bought 7 because I ended up with the odd number. And, you know, this yarn is 450 yards anyway to begin with. So I think I just used 6. because it only takes 4 to make a blanket with Noro yarn if you're using a single strand. So I said, okay, double strand. If I wanted that same size, it would have taken more. But anyway, I did 6. And so what is making it still be the same size to me as it was single strand, because I had to use a much smaller hook. Right now I'm using a larger hook. Is growing expeditiously, whatever, is that a word? Yeah. It's growing really quickly, and because the yarn is double, it's going to make it bigger. So it actually, I think it worked out better doing it like this. But I did save one. This is my brand new one. And I think with this, I said, I'm not going to put this, because I could have done it. I said, I'm not going to put this with the double strand. I'm going to keep this as single strand, and this is brand new, never used. And then I had this left over. I decided to leave a little bit left over to add with this. I think I'm going to make a bag with this. I think it would make a nice little, like a hippie bag or something to use, like if I'm wearing jeans or something like that. And it doesn't matter that it's thin, that the bag will be thin, because it's going to be real nice and soft, and it's going to be really drapey. And this 450 yards is more than enough to make a bag. And then I saved this for the strap. That's why I saved this. And then this will be for the bag itself. I don't know if I'm going to go with round, or if I'm going to go with, rectangular. I really don't know yet. So this will be saved. So let's put it back in here. So I just wanted to show you that I kept that. Okay. Put this back in the basket here. Okay, that's safely tucked away. And so, like I said, I have this left, and then I have that other big giant ball. So I won't be starting on my shawl for February until I finish this. And I'll probably finish this weekend. So I'll be showing y'all this as, once I finish it. Just wanted to show you what I'm working on. So in the meantime, if you can't already tell, I'm nasally. I get a call from my neurologist today to let me know that my monthly blood work is showing that the medication is working. I'm on this medication called Abagio, and the generic version I think is called Flumocide or something like that. And what it's designed for is to take away the inflammation. It lowers your immune system dramatically, so that because that helps with the inflammation to slow the progression of the MS attack, which I already knew what it does. And he had told me it was going to take a few months before it started kicking in. Well, I got my call today to let me know it had kicked in. And I told him, no doubt. I was like, I already knew it kicked in, because when your immune system goes down, because I was told, wear a mask whenever you go out, be careful around people who are sick, so on and so forth, which I have done. I've been a hermit actually since before the pandemic, okay? And I've been wearing masks because I've been on a medication called, what's the name of that medication? But it's to Imuran, Imuran. And Imuran shuts down the immune system altogether. So, I've been through that rodeo, so I know how quickly you can get sick. And normally, if I get sick, the sickness lasts for a few hours because my immune system is normally so revved up. Well, this is to shut it down or to lower it. And so when I saw that my white blood cell count was low, I was like, and it wasn't reading low, it was just like in the normal range, whereas it had always been high. And so, not white blood cell, it's something, whatever is your immune cells or whatever. So I knew that that the medicine was working. So I went to Myers on, it was Monday of this week, either Monday or was it Tuesday? It was either Monday or Tuesday. I went to Myers, wasn't there long, wore my mask and everything. Well, now I guess I need to wear gloves because obviously I touched the surface and now I have a cold. So I already knew, okay, this medicine is working, because colds are something that I rarely get. And if I got one, I would go through the cold for one day and it would be over with the next day or by that evening because my immune would fight it off just that quick. Now it can't. So here I am, so I'm nasally. And it's not really that bad. I never had a sore throat. All I remember was waking up one day with a headache. My head was going ping, ping, ping. So I took 2 Aleve and knocked it out, and I was fine. And then the next day I woke up, like this. And I'm like, wow, usually, a cold starts out with the sore throat. And I was like, I know it's not allergies, or anything like that. It's just a plain common cold. So I've been having sneeze freeze. And if you don't know what sneeze freeze is, you know how it is when you get a cold and you feel like you have to sneeze every 2 seconds, but the sneeze doesn't happen. Then your eye begins to water because of that. I call it sneeze freeze because you're like, and then nothing happens. And then when you do sneeze, you can't stop. Then the post-nasal, well, we won't even get into all that. Y'all know the stages of a cold, okay? The common cold. So that's what I'm going through, but I don't actually feel bad. I'm not feverish or anything like that. I know the big C is going around, and I don't suspect that is that, although I do have some tests here and everything. So if I start feeling bad, of course, or if I develop a fever, of course, I would go get checked out for that and get tested and whatnot. Right now, it just feels like the common cold, and I actually don't feel bad. I'm not weak. I'm not just feeling bad. I am sleeping a lot. That type of thing, but that's about it. Ooh, we're back to 2 colors together. Yay! And it's really popping. So hopefully we'll hit a blue eventually. And I really didn't pay attention when I wound the balls. I didn't pay attention. I saw a few, where the colors were together, but I really wasn't looking and trying to match them up or anything. I just kept rolling and didn't pay attention to it. So it's always a surprise when I get to where 2 colors are together. Yep. So it's fun. This is really fun making. I like it. Yep. I'm enjoying this, especially since it's thick. And I think I made the right decision with doing this with the yarn. I wish I had done that from the beginning. So like I said, I don't mind the granny square. This is my favorite stitch, the granny stitch. I didn't think to go into the decks, because I probably could have went with something different as far as my granny square is concerned, but I'm not going to worry about that now. I'll just keep working the plain basic granny stitch. And I did see some chunky blankets online where they just worked a big granny square. In fact, Creative Grandma had one where she and Cody were demonstrating like 10 different stitches or 10 different blankets you can make using chunky yarn. And one of them was the granny blanket, and the other one was the V-stitch. And that's what gave me the idea about the V-stitch. But I didn't like it. It was too loose. So, yep. So I went back to my old granny, but I'm liking this. I'm really liking it. Okay, so what else? Oh, I decided to order, and I haven't ordered it yet, but I will be. One more, and it's not even a bling item for the walker. It's just, but I'm counting as it's bling. I didn't know that they had a caddy that you could purchase, and it's only like $50. So I'm going to be ordering that in a couple of weeks. And what it does is you take the back of the walker out, and you attach the caddy to it. It just clicks on. And what it is it's like a grocery bag. So you can turn your walker into a grocery cart. So if you're going out somewhere, if you're at the store and you don't have to get that many items, you can load it into the cart. And then it also has a tray on top that folds up and down. So you can carry your keys, your cell phone, your cup, all that on this tray, and it expands the width of the walker. It's really neat. In fact, I'll add a link to it because it's a link that shows how to install it. So I said that is well worth it. Plus I have that basket at the bottom, which isn't that big, but I do put things in the bottom, but I have to lift the seat to get to it. And this one, I can remove the caddy if I'm not using it, like, or whatever. But it's going to come in handy for when I'm out, because lots of times I might go to the store just to pick up a couple of things, and, I don't want to take the walker in because, you have to get a basket or one of the scooters or whatever. But on days that I want to walk and I don't have that much to get, like say I'm just going to pick up some bread or, a thing of milk, I can use the caddy and just put the stuff in there and roll my way, walk through the store and roll my way. So I said, and especially at home while cooking and things like that, I can just load things right there on the caddy. I'm just so happy that that's available. And I just found out about it. I didn't even know that was available for the U-Step walker. So I'm excited about that. Okay, and let's see, what else? Oh, remember when I went to Value World because they did that 50% off thing? I never showed y'all these, and this was back a couple of, wait, they did it at Labor Day, but this was bought before then. They had the 50% off sale. It was during that Magical Mystery Tour. It might have been the other channel that I had showed what I had bought at Value World, because a lot of the stuff was like, I bought a strainer and I forgot what all I got. But anyway, I found these and I've been trying to research them. I've pulled up the name of the artist because it's signed, but I haven't been able to find anything on her yet. And when I use the Google Eye, what I call the Google Eye is when you take a photo of what you got, and lots of times it'll come up in the photo and it'll tell you either how much it's worth, or if it's for sale somewhere, it'll have the price and it'll tell you about the item and whatnot. Well, every time I take a picture of it, it just tells me it's a clown. So it doesn't give any specific information. I thought maybe the name of the artist would come up and it would tell about other works that she's done or something like that. So I am still, but I paid $5 a piece for these because they were marked at $10 and being 50% off, they were $5. And I said, and I'm not a clown person, but the photos jumped out at me. They had them behind the counter with all the stuff that they consider expensive that they put behind the counter, so like bags and stuff. And they jumped out at me and I was like, these are speaking. But I wanted to show them to you. So here's one of them. And as you can see, the artist's name is Karen. Yep. But I think it just jumped out at me. And it matches my shawl, okay? But anyway, this is one of them. And it was a set of 2. And they're framed nicely and everything. And so I have to find out, they've got to be worth more than $5. Okay, and then here's the other one. I actually like the first one better, but this one jumped out. This one, because of the yellow hat that the clown is wearing, it jumped out at me. So these look like, are they sad clowns? Well, they're not sad and they're not happy either. Okay, let's look at both of them together. But here they are. This is the second one. And it's by the same artist, Karen. So, and I bet you any kind of money she probably did. It's probably more than just this. She probably did a set of 10 or something like that. But each one is different. And they just jumped out at me, so I bought them. And I'm trying to think, do I want to hang these up? I said I may hang these in one of the spare bedrooms. But then, how people talk about creepy clowns and all that stuff. I don't know. So we'll see. But I wanted to show that to you. Okay, I have rambled on. How many minutes are we at? Are we at 30 minutes? We're at 28 minutes, so that's right on par. Now it's starting to get dark. I'm sitting under the lights, but I was a little bored, so I was like, let me come on, because I missed y'all. So, and welcome to the new subscribers. I see that I'm growing again, so everybody says that they like me rambling and talking. I feel like I just ramble, but that's okay. But anyway, I've really enjoyed everything, here with the channel and stuff. So, and I will be on Sunday. So hopefully I will have this complete since I started this last night and I'm almost through with one ball of it. So I have one to go. So I'm going to work on it diligently and I'll be done with it no later than early next week. So I'm going to just keep working on it and see where it takes me. But I really like this. And now it is warm, even with the holes, and it feels good. So I'm going to really like using this. And this is going to be my go-to blanket where it'll travel with me and everything. But just the fact that it's silk and cotton together, I just love it. Okay, you guys. So once again, okay, we are at 29 minutes now. So let me end this before we hit 30. Okay, so I will talk to you guys later. I'm going to upload this right away. So I'll be on to respond to your responses and whatnot. If I don't respond, that means I fell asleep or something silly once again. But I will talk to you later. And may God bless you. I'll see you in the next one. See you on Sunday in 3 days. Let's see, it's Thursday. No, this is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, see you in 2 days. Bye-bye. Oh, and yep, I have on my shawl. Of course, it feels so good too. Loving it. Okay, bye.